In Part 3 of the speaking test, the examiner will ask further questions which are connected to the topics discussed in Part 2. This part of the test is designed to give you the opportunity to talk about more abstract issues and ideas. It is a two-way discussion with the examiner and will last 4 to 5 minutes.
We've been speaking about important things we own. I'd like to discuss this topic in more detail. Let's begin with considering values and how they've changed. What kind of possessions do you think give status to people in your country?
I can think of a couple of examples for this. The first thing that comes to mind is property, or the house you own. If you own a nice house in a good area, then this shows you have money and are possibly someone important. The type of car you own is also a sign of status. For example, owning an expensive car is a sign of your wealth.
Okay, interesting. Has it always been the same, or were different possessions valuable in the past?
I think it was different in the past. For example, people would value gold and jewelry. Gold is still valuable, but I feel it isn't as much because there are new things being developed in society, such as new cars.
Why do you think people need to show their status?
I think a number of factors play a role in this. Social pressure is one of the main factors, especially social media. It pressures people to want to attain and show a certain level of success. People want to show others that they have money or are successful. Maybe they feel they will be respected because of this, or they could get fame. I think the reasons for wanting to show status varies for different people, but I do feel it's natural for people to want to show off their wealth.
Thank you. Let's move on to advertising. Do you think advertising influences what people buy?
Yes, definitely. Especially now, with the latest technology, advertising is everywhere. Constantly seeing adverts on TV, the radio, online, billboards, etc. persuades us to buy particular products. Advertising also helps us to trust brands, especially when we see great reviews of products.
Do you think advertisements always give correct information?
Certainly not. I think a lot of the time advertisements exaggerate things. I have had experiences of buying products that did not live up to the hype. I also think advertisements encourage us to sometimes buy things we don't need. For example, constantly seeing advertisements for skincare, weight loss, hair loss products, etc. We may not need these products, but seeing advertisements may make us feel we do need them. It's also unhealthy for young people to see such advertisements.
Is advertising really necessary in modern society?
I think it is to an extent. Advertising helps us to decide what we want to buy. If there wasn't any advertising, it would be difficult to know what to buy unless we physically visited the shop. However, I do think advertising also causes a lot of harm, like I mentioned earlier. For example, advertisement of unhealthy food may increase obesity rates, especially in young people. Advertising also encourages people to buy things when they may not have the money to do so, causing them to get into debt.
What do you think the solution to this issue is?
It would be helpful if certain advertisements were only shown on TV at certain times. For example, not showing food adverts after 9 p.m. in order to avoid young people seeing them. Or restricting certain advertisements on social media so young people do not see them.
Your ideas are really interesting, thank you.